Welcome back to the Teachable Heart. Awfully glad you're watching. I'm your host, David Vitt. Hebrews 10 verse 34 says this, "You suffered along with those in prison and joyfully accepted the confiscation of your property, because you knew that you yourselves had better and lasting possessions." End quote. As I prepared to teach this passage, I was struck by how these early believers responded to such huge injustices. In the verse preceding this one, we're told that they were, quote, publicly exposed to insult and persecution. At other times you stood side by side with those who were so treated, end quote. That seemed hard enough to me, but joyfully accepting the confiscation of their property? That sounded like hyperbole to me. Now, I won't speak for you, but I joyfully accept the accumulation of property, not its confiscation. We're not told who took the property, but given the surrounding context, it was probably an angry mob. Regardless of who wronged them, their response was one of joyful acceptance. The original Greek wording suggests they welcomed it with a lack of resistance. In fact, a careful look at the overall passage shows us that the confiscation of their property wasn't listed among their afflictions, but among their accomplishments. Again, it's almost too much to believe. Until, that is, we consider why they responded the way they did. The author tells us that they were willing to accept the loss of their earthly possessions because they were fully convinced something far better would be theirs later. And undoubtedly, this is a reference to heaven. But notice that each person was convinced that heaven was a real, material place and that a part of it was going to be personally theirs. In light of that, they maintained a healthy perspective on their earthly possessions. This same attitude was taught by Christ in Matthew 5 verse 40, which says, "And if anyone wants to sue you and take your shirt, hand over your coat as well." Paul would echo the thought when he wrote this in 1 Corinthians 6 verse 7. "The very fact that you have lawsuits among you means you have been completely defeated already. Why not rather be wronged? Why not rather be cheated?" End quote. While I'm not advocating that you allow yourself to be cheated out of what is rightfully yours, it would probably be beneficial for most of us if we held onto our property less tightly. And the best way to do that is to remember what will be ours in eternity. Give a lot of thought, and until next time, keep the heart teachable.